Hey-ya! It's time to karate chop our way to some more retro reviews. I'm Dylan, and this week we're going to look at one of the most enduring classics on the Nintendo, Ninja Gaiden. But this week is a double feature, 2 reviews for the price of 1. Now, to get us started, I'm going to talk about the first and most classic of the series. Ninja Gaiden on the NES is the action-adventure platformer counterpart of the beat-em-up game of the same name. It's funny, but the original titles of Ninja Gaiden are more or less copies of other classic games of each respective genre. The arcade version is a copy of Double Dragon, and this game is a copy of Castlevania. Literally, the gameplay style and display look virtually the same. Anyways, this game came out in 1989, and here we see the origin of Batman's wall jump, but way more satisfying to pull off. Because you're a ninja, and ninjas are cool. It was also developed by Tecmo, a powerhouse at the time, releasing too many games to count, but Rygar is worth mentioning. Perhaps the most iconic and influential thing this series has is that it's a fully fleshed out story, for the most part. It was one of the first games of the time to utilize cutscenes that played out more like a story. In short, here's the story breakdown. Your father is slain in an awesome duel, almost worthy of being shot on film. You, Ryu, must avenge your father's death. So you travel to America to kill a bunch of crazy, weird... What the fuck are these things doing in America? Is this even America? You go from the streets of, I assume, the San Francisco Chinatown to the snowy Alps by the looks of it. I mean, China and Japan are both closer to the West Coast, so I assume it starts out there, but... whatever, back to the game. So on your journey, killing the misfits of Z-grade ninja movies, you meet the CIA woman who is the love interest of Ryu to obtain 2 statues of an evil demon. Great. It's a gather the berry quest. At least there's only 2 items, but you lose them so many times it doesn't matter. Eventually, you finally come across Mouth, the guy who killed your father, in perhaps the most bullshit battles ever. You basically have to run up to the guy and spam the attack button to kill him. Terrible programming in an otherwise perfect game. Now, the controls in this game are amazing. There's nothing as satisfying as running, slashing, and wall jumping through a stage, especially to kick-ass music. It also uses the same control as Castlevania when it comes to using sub-weapons. You activate them by pressing up and B. However, this game is merciless when it comes to difficulty. There are 2 things. Fuck those flying ninjas, but most of all, fuck those birds! You're guaranteed to get stuck at some point, and I promise you, you will. If anything, get stuck on stage 4 too. It has the best music in the game, hands down. If you're going to play a stage over and over, at least the music will be kick-ass. And now, as with anything successful, this game got a sequel and spawned a franchise. The second game basically picks up where the last one left off. The antagonists of the first game are actually underlings to some Dark Lord. Classic. And they set off to get revenge on you. It is then Ryu's job to put an end to their evil plans. The game controls the exact same as the first, but adds a few features and minorly tweaks things. First off, one of the most important changes made was in regards to the wall jump. Once you're clinging to a wall, you can actually climb up or down as you please, which is extremely useful. As for the new features, there are now stage hazards, which drastically slows the game down in my opinion. In the first game, it was so satisfying to just sprint through the stage because everything is a pattern and it's learned. In this game, like on the wind stage, for instance, you have to move slowly and wait for the wind to blow you in the direction you need. As for the dark stage, fuck that shit. It's hell. Obviously, these games have become notorious due to their difficulty, as well as being super fun. To this day, the franchise is ungodly hard. The most recent edition I ever played, which turned out to be my first introduction to the series, was the 360 copy of Ninja Gaiden 2. Not this 2. That was back in 2008. Anyways, my recommendation is to definitely get the first game. And if you want some extra challenge, pick up 2 also. As for 3, yes, I'm aware there's a third, but it doesn't have unlimited continues like these 2. And with the extreme difficulty, I'd rather not destroy my whole apartment trying to get anywhere in that, because I can only die so many times before going ballistic. Anyways, tune in next week and I'll punch my way through another gem from the past.